Leslie Zimmerman, and back in the 80s, I had the privilege of bartending at Bootleggers for Gloria, which was awesome. And during that time, I also used to watch Dana. A lot of times he would come over to my apartment, which I luckily lived right behind the bar, which was very convenient. And Dana loved to hang out there because all the musicians used to come over and hang out at my house, of course. Also, one of my very fond memories of Dana is anytime a band would load in or out, he was always asking if he could play the drums. A lot of the musicians didn't like that so much, but he was really, really persistent, and he usually got his way and got to play the drums. Dana, to me, was always very funny, very optimistic, and he could be very persistent for anything that he wanted. And that's where I choose to keep Dana in my heart. I keep him in my heart as this happy young kid that I used to watch, and that's where I'm going to keep him. Miss you, Dana.
Sir KK, 20 years of D-Lo. That's impressive. When Dana was about this big, we were playing at the Bootlegger, and I remember at one point grabbing his hand and throwing him out into the crowd, and the very first face I see is Gloria looking at me like, "Oh, you're a dead man." And other than that, I remember him different stages of his life growing up. I've always felt like the cousin you don't hang out with but you see once in a while, and I've always loved the kid, and he's always shown me a lot of respect, and he will forever be missed.
Richie here. Dana was my older brother. One of the best memories I have of him is we bought this green minivan when I was real young. First thing he made Max do was go trick it out with these 20-inch subs and all this crazy stereo equipment. And the thing just rattled like it was gonna just blow up. And, he'd always drive us to school jamming like the first Korn album or the new Sepultura. And, everybody in the neighborhood knew we were coming in this little family van that was just bumping so hard. He always just knew how to bring the music and keep it going and bring the vibe. One love to Dana, miss him.
Hi, my name is Matt Pimple. I used to be in a band called Dover Trench from Tucson, Arizona, Sierra Vista, Arizona. And my first memory of Dana is at the Pleasures of the Flesh Fest back in probably 88, 87, something like that. I was watching MOD play, and he brought this little kid up on stage. This little kid had hair down to his knees, man. And he goes, this little kid is 12 years old, and he puts Billy Milano, great Billy Milano, puts this little kid up on his shoulders, and it just happened to be Dana at the time. I was probably 16, something like that. But anyway, that was the first time I ever saw him. Okay, so years later, we were playing with Atrophy at a club in Phoenix somewhere. I can't even remember what it was, but I was talking to him, and out in the parking lot, and Dana goes, "Hey man, you listen to death metal?" I go, "Hell yeah, I listen to death metal." He goes, "Man, there's just not enough death metal bands around these days, and this was way back then, So we struck up a long conversation. We talked a good half hour, 45 minutes about death metal. It was great. Anyway, that's really, it was a great memory. No doubt about it. I'll never forget it.
What's up, everybody? It's Zion. I'm gonna give a memory of my older brother Dana. We were at my mom's house, and I was really young. He was a little older. I was around like 4 or 5, and we were having dinner or something like that. I had a bottle of ketchup, and I was a crazy little kid. I asked my older brother if I could like put ketchup all over the room and just kind of squirt it all over the place, and he said he was down for it. So we kind of just did it and turned the room into a big ass ketchup party. And you know, my parents came in and they were all pissed, and I think it was actually my sister's room too, so she was all pissed. But that's kind of my brother in a nutshell. He didn't really care what was right or wrong. He just kind of wanted to make sure everybody was having fun. And you know, I think that's the right thing, is everybody being happy and having fun. So I love him for everything he did, and I love him for watching over me.
Hi, this is Greg from Sacred Reich, and I was asked to share a favorite Dana memory. And honestly, there's way too many to even go into all the great memories that we shared with Dana throughout his life. The one main thing I remember about Dana is just his kind soul. That he was just a great guy, and you never once didn't want him around. It wasn't like having a little kid hanging around. It was, you know, Dana was accepted throughout this whole Nuttall family that we have by everyone. He was never pushed aside or asked to leave an area. He was always welcome, and that just shows you what a great guy Dana was. He was just a kind-hearted soul, and he will forever be missed. We love you and miss you, Dana.
What's up? This is Igor Cavalera. I play with Lodi Kong. I'm here to talk about my brother Dana. It's coming up on 20 years of the D-Lo Festival anniversary, I guess you could say. And yeah, you know, he's been on our mind a lot lately. Everyone's been sharing their memories and, you know, sharing what they thought about him, what they felt about him. And, you know, it's been really inspiring for me because, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but he passed away when I was only one year old. You know, I was a newborn still. So I don't exactly know him in the sense of, you know, I grew up with him and I did this and that, but I know all about him from my family talking about him, from watching home videos, from doing stuff like that. So I can't personally say that I have a certain favorite memory, but I definitely do have, you know, favorite stories that the family tells. And you know, like I said, certain videos I watched with him in it, and it kind of taught me a little bit, you know, about what kind of a person he was, and you know, stuff like that. And you know, it's cool to know, even though I never got to grow up with him and do that, that I still get to know him. You know, a lot of people would think that, you know, having him pass away when I was only 1, you know, I wouldn't feel pain about it, or I wouldn't care, I wouldn't remember, or something like that. But actually, it's, you know, it's quite the opposite. It actually hurts more to know that, you know, I didn't get to grow up with him and I didn't get to do that. And you know, that's why it always makes me happy to play the D-Lo festivals and to, you know, get everybody to come out and, you know, share one night together, you know, in memory, and, you know, just feel it, you know. That's what it comes down to for me. And so all I have to say basically is, you know, enjoy the night, have fun, and, you know, be safe and make some good memories while you do it. We'll see you there.